It helps to have my mic on. That's embarrassing. Oh well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines. I'm not actually affiliated with Spirit Airlines, just a simple joke about whiskey. Plus, we give you comfier seats, more legroom, and we offer full beverage services on all of our flights, including select whiskeys from my private collection. We are happy for you to join us with non-stop service from Chicago to New York. Our flight time will be 1 hour and 40 minutes, with a cruising altitude of, I'm assuming, about 40,000 feet. And looking at the weather, it looks to be a smooth, well, maybe a smooth and clear flight. That wall of clouds is coming right for us. So I'm going to finish up a few formalities, and then we will get on the road. Oh, airways? Airways is the right term. We are here in lovely Chicago at the moment. We are actually at KORD, also known as O'Hare Airport, instead of Midway, where we landed in last. But just bear with me while I take care of a few formalities. And there we are. Basically just letting folks know that we will be taking off shortly. Alrighty. So let's get this bird started up just a little bit. Oops. Press the wrong button. So this should be battery on. Get external power going. And we'll connect up the jetway here.
Clearance delivery Whiskyfile 29er77 IFR to Kennedy, ready to copy.
Whiskyfile 29er77 is cleared to Kennedy Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 right climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.0 squawk 4742.
Weather actually doesn't look that bad today.
Whiskyfile 29er77 cleared to Kennedy Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 right climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 125.0 squawk 4742.
Whiskyfile 29er77 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
Ground Whiskyfile 29er77, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Whiskyfile 29er77, the jetway is going to be connected.
Actually is... Oh, actually no, it did load in my weights right. Excellent. We're going to also enter in the weights here. We've got a payload of 84 tons here today. Right now we're at 30, so let's add in some fat cats for the front. And we'll do 25,000 there. And maybe 30. So that leaves us with 32 for baggage. So let's make it easy on ourselves. Actually, we'll do 10,000 up front, and we'll do Uh, 15, 18. That should do it. Alrighty. So we got all that. Jetway is actually connected. Ooh, getting some frame drops from the weather. Alrighty. Let's get some of the other things here started up. So I'm just gonna bring over my. Actually, let's take a look at the plane real quick. Got a nice little luggage truck there, or actually food truck. Here's luggage. Some other services. Let's go underneath the plane here. This is how I set up some of the camera angles. Oh, that's a nice shot. I like that. Alright. Let's get some of these things going here. So,
Sky West 553 for taxi to the gate. Sky West 553 for taxi to gate
my
Charlie
checklist
18
here.
by taxiway Charlie
So,
1 Charlie Zulu Sierra Sierra Tango 2 Tango Romeo Alpha 6 Bravo Alpha 5.
we already have the battery switches and external power, so let's turn on the APU. So APU switch is right here. Turn to start.
Taxiing to gate Charlie 18 using taxiway Charlie 1 Charlie Zulu Sierra
The
Sierra
feed
Tango 2
generators.
Tango Romeo Alpha 6 Bravo Alpha 5.
Feed generators are
Sky West
on.
5534.
Let's just start that up. So actually, let's tick these guys here. We're gonna have to move the camera here to 8 and turn on fuel pumps. Turn on auto fuel balance and cross feed. And lastly, we'll turn on beacon. Alrighty, and figure we've let them know that we are starting up the engines. So let's get them going. So first is check and make sure thrust levels are at idle. They are indeed at idle. And let's start up the right engine first. Turn that to start. Flip up this guy. And that should start the engine. And there it goes. So I'm just going to monitor the fuel situation here. I'm going to also change my range just a bit. Turn to 10 miles so I can actually see certain things. I'm going to switch that over here. The flight path here is a little bit weird. For some reason, this airport is really a nightmare to fly out of. You basically make a hard turnaround. But, oh well. The engine does seem to be stabilizing, which is good. No humans been sucked in. That's good. So let's start up the other one. Start. Fuel control. Lovely stuff. So that engine is spooling up. Let's see down here, that's where my engine control and everything is. Interesting. I can't actually control it on his side. It's funny. Alright. And for you folks that are across the pond, I'll put it in meters there. I am not changing it from knots because, well, most pilots don't use anything but it. What we will do is we're going to set this to 180 for takeoff. And let's actually turn off the APU because we do not need it. And we'll turn off external power. Let's turn on excuse me there. We'll turn off turn on our lights here. And let's push back the jetway and let's get going.
Ground Whiskyfile 2977, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Turn on the fasten the seatbelt sign. Jetway is disconnected. And we will begin our taxi. But before we do, let's take a moment and review the safety information for this aircraft. We are flying in a Boeing 787. Now please take a moment and pay attention as we go through the safety information for this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft, 4 forward, 2 aft, and 2 over each wing. Please take a few moments to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exits. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. If you are seated next to an emergency exit, please carefully read the special instructions card located by your seat. If you do not wish to perform the functions described in the event of an emergency, please ask a flight attendant to reseat you. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a life raft. In the event of a water landing, a life vest is located in the pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Pass the straps around your waist and adjust it at the front. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord, only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpiece. Your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the strap, and hug the cushion to your chest. And please note, the doors are not flotation devices. Oxygen and air pressure are always being monitored in the event of a decompression. An oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you, place it firmly over your mouth and nose, secure the elastic band behind your head, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until a crew member advises you to remove it. At this time, your portable electronic devices must be set to airplane mode until an announcement is made upon arrival. If you noticed your video stream has stopped, that's because you fell for that and I will never get tired of that joke. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, even though some of you think you look cool doing it. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will find this and all other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. If you do not have a seat pocket in front of you, you're probably not actually on a plane, which we don't find all that surprising. We strongly suggest you read this card before takeoff, and good luck if you don't have one.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members or in the chat next to the video. So sit back, relax, and when we're safely at cruising altitude, pour yourself a glass and enjoy your flight on Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, I never get tired of that. Alright, let's get this flight rolling. Flight attendants, prepare for pushback.
Ground Whiskyfile 29er77 requesting pushback.
Whiskyfile 29er77 pushback. Request accepted.
Yeah, Matt, oxygen is quite nice. I do enjoy breathing it myself. Would be rather unfortunate if I stopped breathing oxygen. My park brake set. No, there we go. Oh, it's just taking forever to connect. That's what it is. Do voiceover for what? I should actually probably figure out where I'm going. That would be... I'm gonna have to go one of these directions. Runway is behind us, so actually I am going to push back to the right.
Ground Whiskyfile 29er77 requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the right.
Whiskyfile 29er77, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Can't really see Chicago right now. Should be over there. Yeah, maybe a little bit in the distance right back here. Oh, for actual safety videos, that'd be fun. I don't think they'd enjoy some of my jokes, though. Try and be professional.
Ground Whiskyfile 29er77 requesting the end of pushback.
Whiskyfile 29er77 request to end pushback received.
Ground Whiskyfile 29er77 with India ready to taxi IFR.
Whiskyfile 29er77 taxi to and hold short of runway 28 right using taxiway Alpha 17 Alpha Alpha 19er Victor 3 Victor Victor 4 November Yankee. Contact tower on 133.0 when ready.
Oh.
Taxiing hold short runway 28 right using taxiway
I guess I turned the wrong direction.
Alpha 19er Victor 3 Victor Victor 4 November Yankee
Oh.
Whiskyfile 29er77.
We'll be okay. Just turning myself around here. Totally normal operations. Circular spots. There we go. And let's begin our taxi. Now, something I found out is for for smaller planes, they usually control it by the rudder, but for larger planes, that's the steering wheel, essentially. That little guy there. Which I thought that was kind of interesting, that you're both controlling it with your feet and with your and with your hand. It's probably quite confusing. So yeah, fun fact about O'Hare Airport, they have some pretty neat self-cleaning toilets that are apparently quite notable. So if you ever fly into the main terminal in O'Hare, feel free to check those out. Also, apparently, O'Hare is very intense with air traffic control. This game is not being accurate with it because they're usually just machine gun firing commands at you, and you just got to keep up. You do not repeat. You just go. It's to the point that it's meme worthy. Yeah, eventually, Matt, I'll get a flight sim. I'll get a proper yoke and everything like that, but I want to get a racing rig first before I splurge on the flight sim stuff. Because I played on keyboard and mouse for God knows how long. I can wait a little while longer. And with a controller, it works pretty well. Just like to have easier access to my speed brakes and stuff like that, but beyond that, we're doing okay. Just zigzagging our way to the runway. We're taking off from 28 left, or 28, no, 28 right here on O'Hare's Airport. And again, if you're wondering how they name runways, it is the cardinal direction, and then if it's just one, it's just called runway 28. If there's two, it's runway on the left is the left one, runway on the right is the right one. And cardinal direction by degrees, so 28 is 280, meaning it's west and a little bit north. No, I race with a G29 Logitech wheel. I used to race with a pad, but that was a long time ago. Ended up breaking my R2 button, or the trigger on my controller, and decided, I'll just replace it with a steering wheel. Still have that same busted controller. Alright, we're going to hold from 28 right. And we're going to tune in to the tower here.
Tower Whiskyfile 2977 ready for departure runway 28 right IFR to Kennedy.
Whiskyfile 2977 altimeter tree 0.28 wind tree 1415. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right Whiskyfile 2977.
Alrighty. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. And here we go. Rotate. Gear up. And we're flying.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Chicago departure on 125.0. Good day.
125.0 for Whiskyfile 2977.
Alrighty, let's get autopilot going. Make our turn.
Chicago departure Whiskyfile 2977 is at 3,000 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Whiskyfile 2977, Chicago, departure altimeter 30.28, continue as planned.
Huh. This might be a bit of an illegal turn here. Yeah, turn up flaps. So we're basically flying into the flight path here into Chicago, but that is what SimBrief told me to do, so yeah, I know. So all flaps are up. Probably should have hand flown this around. Probably collision warning. As those two are coming in for a landing, we should have done a much tighter turn around there, but for some reason it would not let me redo that, so we're okay. We're not going to actually collide with them. They're much further below us. We're at 6,000 feet now, so yeah, we're clear. We're going to be flying over Lake Michigan, and we'll get a lovely view out the right side of the aircraft from, let's see if it's on this side. Oh, not that one. There we go. No, it's this guy. There you go. You'll be able to see Chicago out of the right side of the aircraft, as long as it doesn't get too cloudy.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Chicago Center on 120.35. Good day.
Going to 120.35 Whiskyfile 2977. Chicago Center Whiskyfile 2977 is at 9,500 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Whiskyfile 2977, Chicago Center, altimeter 30.28, continue to Echo Lima, X-ray as planned. Whiskyfile 2977, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210 Whiskyfile 2977.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Chicago departure on 125.0. Good day.
So all those planes there are landing into probably O'Hare, but judging by the... Actually no, those guys are Midway. That's Midway approach. There's Finn, or oh shoot, I forgot what the name of the...
Whiskyfile 2977,
Oh,
acknowledge.
yeah.
Transmission.
Got it. I'll change up. Thank you.
Going to
Hey,
125
Chicago.
decimal 0 Whiskyfile 2977.
That was the Cubs Park. I can't remember what it's called. Some American
Chicago
island.
departure Whiskyfile 2977 is passing 10,200 feet climbing flight level 210.
'Cause it's not Fenway. Fenways are the Yankees.
2977 Chicago departure altimeter 30 decimal 28 continue to Echo Lima X-ray as planned. Whiskyfile 2977 contact Chicago Center on 120 decimal 35. Good day.
120 decimal 35 for Whiskyfile 2977.
Lovely stuff. Get the camera drone out here. Such a pretty game. All right. So how are you doing today, Matt? You gonna be doing commentary for Hugh Hattrick's thing later today? I think that's in what, 2 hours? That's at Suzuka. That'll be a fun race. Now, Matt, if you want to join me, I'm going to open up the WSA flight radio on GLR's server. So if you ever want to join me in chat, feel free. Oh, you're talking the DD, the direct drive, I'm guessing the Thrustmaster, I think it is. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I've got my eyes on Fanatec, to be honest. So it's gonna be should be a welcome upgrade, but I'm gonna do that basically once my G29 fully retires, because I've already replaced my clutch with my accelerator pedal. Yeah, so I'm definitely going Fanatec on my next wheel. And you know something? I could probably... Oh, the GT Fanatec? Oh, I didn't know Fanatec did that one. I thought it was Thrustmaster. But I'm going to go more CSL Elite, just for longevity reasons. And also, I want to have a nice wheel. I have my eye on that, on the McLaren wheel. Yeah, look at a few others, but I like that one. And I think I could probably get the wheel to work on this, which if I can is gonna be ridiculous. I will happily slap a McLaren logo on the side of this plane if need be. See if someone stopped it. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Ah, that shows how much I'm actually paying attention to what's going on. Hey, D-Max. Yeah, it's yeah, take a look and see how much things have changed. I mean, it's using real world satellite data. Clouds actually don't look like little pixels. Most of the dials in here work. It's pretty neat. But well, let me look that up. Airtag. Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. I didn't think they were stopping CSL though. So I mean, the wheelbase and stuff like that, it's all still for sale. But that's probably what I'll be getting, something like that or similar. I don't think I'll be getting the GT branded one. See different views? Sure. Let's see what we got here. So, of course, you got my cockpit view. I can move around here. I can actually move the camera to any position that I want, but I usually just keep it here at the pilot here. So I can, again, shift to preset views to be able to get to any of the dials if need be. Communication, flight plan stuff, navigation, my actual instruments and stuff like that. This pad doesn't work, which is hilarious. Autopilot stuff is all up on the, basically it'll be the dash essentially. Oh, we should probably adjust this to 2992. No, I don't. I actually use roof cam. Gives me just a little bit of a vantage point to, because you've seen me race before, sometimes I get really close to people, just to kind of put the pressure on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are up at cruising altitude. Now, I have turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You may now move about the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you hot or cold beverages, as well as some lunch, given that it is noon in Chicago. As to be expected, alcoholic drinks are also available with our compliments. As always, we have an assortment of whiskey, and I'm not currently enjoying anything at the moment, given that it is 10 a.m. where I live. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, and thank you for choosing Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines. Sorry, I always got to do the formalities. Ooh, actually, I have not tuned to my radio.
Chicago Center Whiskyfile 2977 is passing flight level 270, descending flight level 210.
Why am I descending?
Whiskyfile 2977 Chicago Center. Continue to unbar as planned.
Oh, that's why. It was 210, not 270. My bad. Yeah, we'll be fine. Yo, Mikey, happy for you to join us, brother. I've got the WSA flight radio if you ever want to join on GLR server.
Whiskyfile 2977 contact Chicago Center on 127.55. Good day.
127.55 for Whiskyfile 2977. Chicago Center Whiskyfile 2977 is at flight level 270, descending flight level 210.
Let's see, what is...
Whiskyfile 2977 Chicago Center. Continue to embark as planned.
Let's see here. Guess this would be the equivalent of the roof can. It's actually on the tail, but...
743 contact Chicago Center on 128.5. Good day.
Going to 128.5 Delta 743.
Hey Todd, happy for you to join. Glad the jetpacks worked out for you.
Whiskyfile 2977, please expedite your
Alright.
descent flight level 210.
Doesn't like that I'm flying up here. It's gonna just make me fly up afterwards too, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Because I misread it. Alrighty. So now we're actually descending, but we'll be back up at probably 40,000 feet shortly. We'll actually go past through, but just a little bit of a misreading. Oh well. Alrighty, Mikey, you take care. And take care, Matt. No, actually, I've got a race in about an hour and a half, so I figured I'm going to fly to JFK first. We'll do a Tijuana run next week, probably, so fortunately Joe will have to fly in a different airline. Because it's a 3.5, 4-hour flight.
Whiskyfile 2977 contact Cleveland Center on 120.45. Good day. Endeavor Flight 229er, contact
120.45 for Whiskyfile 2977. Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 is passing flight level 215, descending flight level 210.
Whiskyfile 2977 Cleveland Center. Continue to Charlie Romeo Lima as planned. Whiskyfile 2977
There it is.
climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Whiskyfile 2977.
Huh. Apparently the... Did that not save? That's strange. Oh no, it's saved in there. Okay. I guess it's kind of dumb. I just noticed that it said the same thumbnail as before. Well, it says KORD. So what we are going to be trying to do in this flight here is, I've actually got, and I actually tested this when I flew to Tijuana last night. I am actually going to try and manually land without the guides and anything like that, because that just seems to really screw with me. I've crashed, or actually had rough landings, more accurately, the last 2 times I've done that, so I'm going to hopefully actually see what the weather is like in New York. Weather, New York. And check the radar. Actually, it looks pretty clear. Yay. That'll be nice. We've been flying into crummy weather the last few times, so...
Delta 89er, to contact Chicago Center on 127.55. Good day.
I mean, at least for Seattle. So that will be quite nice.
Going to 127.55 Delta 89er 2.
Passed through 26,000 feet now. Yes, you can. Actually, don't know if you're...
Generic to Hotel Foxtrot, you are 49er miles northwest. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 27 approach.
Todd, you've ever been to Lake Arrowhead? Because there's actually a small dirt runway there.
Maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 27 approach. Generic to Hotel Foxtrot.
And I was trying to practice with the that Cirrus 22 plane, the Cirrus SR-22 that I flew a couple weeks ago. I was practicing with that, and landing and taking off on the runway just off the lake there. So, it's a pretty neat. So they have all sorts of runways, dirt, small ones. I mean, I can land out of El Monte if I want to. Landed out of a couple other the local ones in and around LA. I think there's one in Fullerton. I think Fullerton has an airport there. They have everything. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Lake Arrowhead's beautiful.
Whiskyfile 29er, 77 climb and maintain flight level 390.
Yes, ma'am.
Climb and maintain flight level 390 Whiskyfile 29er77.
Whiskyfile 29er, 77 contact Cleveland Center on 119.905. Good day.
Going to 119.905 Whiskyfile 29er77.
And let's see, does the game? No, I can fly anywhere I want. World's my oyster. I just like flying domestically, at least presently. Because I started, of course, in Ontario, flew to Seattle, Seattle to Chicago, now Chicago to New York. The next flight, because I'm just sort of pockmarking my way across the country. I was actually thinking of doing a short flight to BWI for see if I can rope Doug into flying over his area, because he's in Maryland, I believe. And
Brickyard 4513, contact Cleveland Center on 126.75. Good day.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 29er77 is at flight level 305, climbing flight level 390.
and so I can fly,
Whiskyfile 29er77 Cleveland Center, continue to Charlie Romeo Lima as planned.
but I can fly pretty much anywhere. We'll probably do a flight to Europe next, flying to Heathrow. Then from there, maybe Berlin or Switzerland or something like that. See what's all around. I know Zurich's airport is gorgeous. I just have no idea if it's good in this game. That'd be fun. Do that in the FA-18, shatter all his windows. But yeah, after that, once we're
going through Europe, we'll stop in various places around there. Then after that, I have no idea. We eventually will fly down to Australia, say hi to Seal, Neil the Seal, and flying around Sydney, and then we'll do a long haul flight back to California. So, I guess it's around the world in 80 drinks or something like that. Should be fun.
Cleveland Center Brickyard, 451 is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet.
Yes, that will be all.
4513 Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
That will be all real-time flights. So the Australia flight to California will be 14 hours, I think. I will sleep. I will run it. I'll basically run it through the night. But if anyone wants to join me on that one, I will happily stay up the entire time. But if I'm not getting any viewers at that hour, I'm going to go to sleep. But we'll be flying in a 747, so the big bird, and yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. But we will be doing a Whiskyfile logistics, because it will be a cargo run from Australia back to California, because got to help out with the shipping shortages. But I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to make that livery for the 747. It is a pain in the butt and a half. Which Great Lake are we flying over? Because that is not Lake Michigan, because we already flew over Lake Michigan. Pulling up Google Maps. Oh, this is Lake Erie. Hey guys, things are gonna get spooky because it's getting eerie. Ha 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 ha. Okay, you can leave now. That's how I lose my only viewer right now. With terrible jokes. Ooh, good question. What sort of sponsorship? I get only 2 more bad jokes, and then it's 3. That's an FAA violation. But you know,
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Cleveland Center on 132.45. Good day.
Aye.
Going to 132.45 Whiskyfile 2977.
So for me, to really put it on there, I got space. I could probably put it right on the front. All I need is the actual logo, so.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 is at flight level 360, climbing flight level 390. Whiskyfile 2977, Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
So I can pull that off of the Discord, or if you want to send it to me, I will happily put that on the side of my 7. Actually, no, I would happily take a bottle of something nice. I know you've got your Maker's Mark not too far from you, and your Target that is completely packed full of everything. My Target's not that nice. Ooh, and also I'm excited for Tuesday, because it's just taking forever to render. I've got a full-on sort of sweeping animation around a bottle of whiskey that I modeled in Blender. First time modeling something. At least modeling something like that. Surprisingly went well. That should be fun. I'm really excited for that whiskey review. I'll be doing those monthly.
Generic 6 Charlie Echo, contact Cleveland Center on 127.7. Good day.
0.2-7 for generic 6 Charlie Echo.
Yeah, so we're actually pretty darn close. We are only, let's see,
Cleveland
that's
Center
320.
Brickyard 451 tree is at flight level 350 descending 10,000 feet.
Yeah, we're only about 200 some odd nautical miles.
2977, climb and maintain flight level 410.
Well, that put me at 41,000 feet.
451 tree Cleveland Center, continue as planned. Climb and maintain flight level 410 Whiskyfile 2977.
Yeah, we're only about 200 miles from New York, so should be a fairly easy flight. There we are, laying down our mind control agent. Yeah, the minute reviews is going to be fun. I actually edited the audio last night, just before I hopped on with the D&D crowd, and what's funny is for the Toki, I was originally waiting to do like a, when I was going to actually pour myself the drink for that bottle, and I wanted to have it, do I have a Whiskyfile YouTube decal on GTS? Yes, I do. Yeah, it's on my profile. There's a Whiskyfile.
2977, contact Cleveland Center on 132.25.
Gotta acknowledge that.
132.25 Whiskyfile.
Yeah, it's just the letters here. That's all it is. I don't have the YouTube logo with it, but it's there.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 is at flight level 40.
That's how,
climbing flight level 410.
That's how Venom was able to make that that Hyundai. That Hyundai was nice. I actually really liked driving. That was fun. But when I was doing the whiskey review, so I had the recording done months ago, but I wanted to, kill off the bottle and actually pour it on the audio with it, and I go to open it, and I forgot that it was a screw cap. So I ended up actually opening up one of my other bottles just for the cork noise, because a screw cap just isn't right. So I even the editor makes fun of it, because I figured why not. Ooh, we've got ourselves quite a tailwind. Goodness. That is a 107 knot tailwind right against our back, because the 280, that is 280 from, I guess that's coming from the west at 107 knots. So man, we are hauling. We are doing 582 knots, which is kind of crazy. Let's see what that speed is. 582. 582. Good lord. We are doing 670 miles an hour. And for those of you in Europe, that's 1,077 kilometers. Man, we are booking it. That tailwind is crazy. Yeah, definitely take a look. It's on.
Center Brickyard 451 tree is passing flight level 350 descending 10,000 feet.
Yeah, it's on my profile there.
451 tree Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
And I could always send you the link if you'd like, because I've got my internet on my second screen here.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Cleveland Center on 120.775. Good day.
Going to 120.775 Whiskyfile 2977.
Let's see here. There it is. I found it. And copy. And send to Todd. There you are. Oh wait, which words? I genuinely do not remember. Ah, sweet. Got the link. But what words? What words? 'Cause I also wasn't paying attention to what I was doing there. We're almost over Erie. Flying over KHZY.
Delta 4903, contact Toronto Center on 135.3. Good day.
Ashtabula County. That's a mouthful. So this is Ashtabula County in Ohio.
For Delta 4903. Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 flight level 410.
Whiskyfile
Oh.
2977 Cleveland Center continues to direct as planned.
Yeah. Goat's an interesting feller. I like him though. Just yeah, Marilyn Manson. Just nice sweeping shots because they're fun. We had a good turnout last night. The D&D on Gran Turismo was
Cleveland
fun.
Center Delta 4903 is at flight level 370, descending 10,000 feet.
So, I mean, we got
Delta 4903, Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
all the usuals, and then we had Tosh join in. We had Aaron, which yeah, he's becoming more of a regular again, which is nice. Had Cordell in, had Doug. I mean, it was to the point that we were almost full of just pub people.
Cleveland Center Brickyard 4513 is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet.
Yeah, it was.
Brickyard 4513 Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
And good racing too. I mean, especially with Joe's drinking game. Jeez. That was just brutal, and I, of course, me being inebriated a bit, happily partook in shenanigans.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact Cleveland Center on 120.775.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to 120.775 Whiskyfile 2977.
Yes, it should.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 flight level 410.
But it's dangerous.
Whiskyfile 2977 Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
Just taking a look at what all is up here, because you don't always check most of these doors. And most of these are inoperative, which is unfortunate. I like being able to press all the things. Yeah, Joe's drinking game's dangerous, though. So, I mean, you know me, I don't drink all that much, and so with that, it's like, you take 6 drinks. No! Say they fix this. No, they still haven't fixed it. That's silly. Yeah, we have a full heads-up display. I've just got to lean forward and be able to see everything. Fly this thing like a fighter jet. Yeah, pew pew pew. Not one of my terrible jokes, that's just terrible sound effects. That's different. Yes, we would. You know, what he should do is, if Joe gets a good following... Oops, press the button. If Joe gets a good following, like, you know, I'm talking enough to kill us.
Contact Cleveland Center on 132.4. Good day. 132.4 for Whiskyfile 2977.
It does for me. But something that Joe should do is, if he gets a good enough following, you know, enough to kill us, he should do it as like a donation instead of just, you know, being able to throw it into a chat, so that way at least people have to pay to kill us. Could be lucrative.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2977 flight level 410.
Whiskyfile 2977 Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
Yeah. I don't know why it rotates like that.
Brickyard 4513, contact Cleveland Center on 120.775. Good day.
Yeah. It's a great idea for Joe, and definitely not for our livers. Because our livers will be toast. He will have to share that, though. Because he has to pick up our bar tab for making us do all that.
Generic 50 Alpha, you are 19 miles southeast.
Oh, no.
And maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 24 approach by John Lee transition.
And also, Pete would have joined us, but he was currently flying back home, so... Because he was out here in LA with us for the... Yeah, it would be a pickled liver. But Pete was flying back to Florida after visiting with the office this week. So, that's the reason why he wasn't able to show up. But he's been enjoying it. He said that, you know, we're a fun group, and he's been enjoying it every week. So yeah, that's the pub on Gran Turismo on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Where we just we race and have some fun shenanigans. So if you've got a PlayStation and you've got Gran Turismo, feel free to join us. And if you're kind of a jerk, you get to learn the shape of Italy because you get the boot. wonder what river that is. Flying over a river. And let's go to maps. See it way out.
Whiskyfile 29er 77 contact Cleveland Center on 126 decimal.
That, I believe, is the Allegheny River underneath us. That's cool.
Going to 126 decimal 725 Whiskyfile 29er 77. Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 29er 77 flight level 410.
Whiskyfile 29er 77 Cleveland Center continued his orbit as planned. Whiskyfile 29er 77 contact Cleveland Center on 124 decimal 325.
That it
Good
is.
day.
That does sound like a good idea.
124 decimal 325 for Whiskyfile 29er 77. Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 29er 77 flight level 410. Whiskyfile 29er 77 Cleveland Center continue to Sierra Lima Tango as planned.
Yeah, we're having a lovely and smooth flight here. Picking up speed too. We're at 591 now. We're almost pushing 600 knots at ground speed, which is crazy. To be honest, we could be going a little bit faster too, because we're only doing 0.84 Mach. See, now we're popping up, but goodness, we were going quick. Yeah, there was a flight. I think it was a cross-country flight from the west coast to the east coast. Got a crazy jet stream, was pushing like over 800 miles an hour on ground speed. But because of just the tailwind, it was fine for the aircraft, but it was like one of the fastest flights. Technically, it was going at what you would consider supersonic speeds, but because of the airspeed and stuff like that, it was under the speed of sound. But crazy how strong the jet stream can be.
Delta 49er tree is at flight level 370 descending 10,000 feet. Delta 49er tree Cleveland Center continue as planned.
So let's see what most of these things are flying over the Appalachians. Not going to have much in the way of major.
Whiskyfile 29er 77 contact Cleveland Center on 126 decimal 725. Good day. 126 decimal 725 Whiskyfile 29er 77.
We're not going to have much in the way of cities until we hit New York area.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 29er 77 flight level 410.
Whiskyfile 29er 77 Cleveland Center continue to Sierra Lima Tango as planned.
I've turned on the fasten seatbelt sign, given we've gotten a little bit of turbulence. Once we're through this bit of choppy air, I will again turn that off so you can move about the cabin. And we are currently flying over Ohio. We are passing over the Appalachian Mountains, and we'll be arriving in what looks like probably about 45 minutes, give or take. Yeah, about 30-45 minutes. We thank you for choosing Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines, and I hope you are enjoying the flight. And if you're wondering what I had last night, I finished off my Centauri Toki, which we'll be doing a review on. It's a nice square bottle that I modeled in Blender, actually, not for this thing. I had a little bit of Penderyn Celt, which is a nice smoky Welsh whiskey. I think that's all that I had last night. Oh no, I had my Iowa Slipknot number 9 corn whiskey. All of those are, of course, available in the galley. feel free to ask one of the topless stewardesses to fetch you a glass, and you can have it neat on the rocks.
Whiskyfile 2-Nighter 77 contact Cleveland Center on 124.325.
Or we'll happily mix it in with an old-fashioned or as a highball.
124.325 Whiskyfile 2-Nighter 77.
Yeah, man, this tailwind's starting to really buffet us around. So now pushing 593.
Cleveland Center Whiskyfile 2-Nighter 77 flight level 410. Delta 4-Nighter tree, contact Cleveland Center on 125.875. Good day. Whiskyfile 2-Nighter 77 Cleveland Center, continue to Sierra Lima Tango as planned. 125.875 Delta 4-Nighter tree.
It's interesting that we haven't seen many aircraft around us, so... Sorry, I've got something in my throat there. Now, the corn is pretty good. It's got... hang on, give me a second here. I'm going to clear my throat. I need a cough button, man. Yeah, the Toki is good for a mixed drink, but you'll see the review in a bit. But the Iowa corn's pretty good. It's got, you know, that distinct corn syrup sweetness that, like, you know, sodas have, like Coke or Pepsi have. It's a very distinct sweetness, or even like, you know, actual corn. And that does have that in there. At first, it was a little bit off-putting to me because I couldn't figure out exactly what I was tasting, because it was a sweetness, but a very distinct sweetness. It's not like a sugar sweetness or like a malted sweetness. It's very distinctly corn. And what's interesting is
133.35 for Whiskyfile 2-Nighter 77.
Before I figured that out, it was very off-putting. It was,
Maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 32 approach via Charlie Foxtrot Bravo. Transition clear to Charlie Foxtrot Bravo Blue Street Flight 127.
it was just very off-putting because I just didn't expect it. But once I figured out what that sweetness was, I actually really enjoyed it. So if you like that sort of corn sweetness, if you love corn on the cob, you love drinks and stuff like that that have a little bit of corn syrup in them, that sort of distinct sweetness, you'll love the Iowa Slipknot. And it's a very smooth whiskey. It's quite delightful. I'm happy to have it. Ooh, now we're pushing 594. If we get over 600, man, we're booking it. So if you're wondering where I'm looking at here, this is ground speed. Alright, do the handoff there.
134.8 for Whiskyfile 2-Nighter-77. New York Center Whiskyfile 2-Nighter-77 flight level 410. Whiskyfile 2-Nighter-77 New York Center, continue to Foxtrot Quebec Mike as planned.
So this is ground speed. This is true air speed. So it's basically how quickly I'm actually moving through the air. And then this speed here is indicated airspeed. So as I go up in altitude, the air pressure is of course less. And so this is basically indicating how much, basically what the airspeed feels like, essentially. So right now it feels like the aircraft's going at about 250.
Contact New York Center on 124.9. Good day.
Any higher than that, you actually run into any stress on the aircraft, and you don't want that. And yes, fun fact about the 787, it does, in order to fly, it flaps its wings. The engines are there just for aesthetic reasons. Nah, I'm just kidding. But
If you're wondering if a plane is supposed to do that, it due to the composite wings in the 787, it does flex more. That actually gives a smoother flight as well as helps with efficiency. So don't be alarmed when you see it flapping around like that. Yeah, you can see that it really does bend up too, which is pretty cool. It's actually the tip of the wings are above the fuselage of the aircraft. Yeah, you can mix the Iowa. The Iowa's pretty inexpensive. It's not terribly expensive. I'll put it that way. Toki's good for blending, but they're going to be raising the prices on it. And there's better whiskeys to blend, to be honest. But you'll see in my review. It's mainly because I kind of gave it crap for in one of the videos I did where I compared it with the Glenlivet that I have, and so that's kind of the reason why I wanted to start with a Japanese whiskey instead of like a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. But we'll be going through all those. I'm gonna try and model the bottles. It's difficult. IPT. So we're flying over Williamsport Regional Airport in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It's actually just off over in this direction here. Oh, there it is. Right there. That airport. So we're currently in Pennsylvania. We're still hauling at 591 knots. Oop, I should actually tune to the...
New York Center Whiskyfile 2977 flight level 410.
Okay. Well, take care, Todd. Happy for you to join us. Take care, and we'll see if I can actually land this bird.
Center Delta 49er tree is at flight level 370, descending 10,000 feet.
Delta 49er tree, New York Center. Continue as planned. American 1769er. Contact New York Center on 133.35. Good day. Whiskyfile 29er, 77 descend and maintain flight level 290. Going to 133.35 American 1769er.
Descend and maintain flight level 290 Whiskyfile 2977.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full and upright position. The flight attendants are currently passing around the cabin and to make their final compliance checks and pick up any remaining cups and glasses that you may have. Make sure your seat belt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bins. Thank you, and we will be on the ground in probably about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Thank you.
Piedmont 6044, contact New York Center on 133.35. Good day.
Ooh, we're pushing 600 knots now. Man, this tailwind is crazy. Okay. 600 knots, that is basically, that's 0.9 Mach typically. 690 miles per hour, or 1,111 kilometers per hour. Man, we're just picking up so much speed. Good lord.
Whiskyfile 29er77, contact New York Center on 134.45.
The plane is not in any danger. It's got another 50 knots in indicated airspeed.
Whiskyfile 29er77. New York Center Whiskyfile 29er77 is at flight level 365, descending flight level 29er0.
Whiskyfile 29er77, New York Center, continue to Lima Victor Zulu as planned.
New York Center Whiskyfile 29er77 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Whiskyfile 29er77, continue to Lima Victor Zulu, turning and following, heading to 85, proceed on course.
See, now we're pushing over 700 miles an hour. And this plane is just cooking. Getting mind control agents over Pennsylvania.
Whiskyfile 29er77, did you copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. Thank you.
Continue to Lima Victor Zulu, turning and following, heading to 85, proceed on course. Whiskyfile 29er77.
Generic 59er2, contact New York Center on 133.15. Good day.
Very strange that it would tell me 285.
133.15, generic 59er2.
I'm following my flight path anyways, so we should be fine.
Generic 0 Golf Kilo, contact New York Center on 123.625. Good day. New York Center Delta 49er3 is passing flight level 335, descending 10,000 feet.
Now
Delta
this is
49er3, New York Center, continue as planned.
this is looking to be a very
Going to
nice
123.625
flight into JFK.
0 Golf Kilo.
Relatively clear. Got a few clouds up in the high altitudes here, but nothing major. I mean, these are probably at about 15,000 feet. So we're descending here. We're just passing 31,000 or 9,400 meters. And we are about 40 miles out, so probably closer to 50 miles out from New York. And we'll be doing sort of a loop around. But it should be quite a nice approach into New York. We'll be flying basically over Manhattan, over Brooklyn area, and then looping around to JFK. And a very nice approach, so it should be a very pleasant flight. And for those of you on the left side of the aircraft, you'll be able to see uptown. And those on the right might be able to see a bit of downtown.
Flight level 230.
Descend and maintain flight level 230, Whiskyfile 29er77.
Whiskyfile 29er77, contact New York Center on 133.15. Good day.
133.15 Whiskyfile 29er77.
So, really beginning our descent now, getting down to 23,000 feet. There's quite a lot to do, so I might be in and out of talking
New
here
York
as I
Center
focus.
Whiskyfile 29er77 is passing flight level 29er0, descending flight level 230.
We are considerably slowing down.
New York Center, continue to Hardy as planned.
We're now down under 550 knots for ground speed.
New York Center Whiskyfile 29er77 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Whiskyfile 29er77, continue to Hardy turning and following heading 285, proceed on course.
Thanks, Hardy. That's funny, it's because Hardy's behind me, that's why it's saying 285. Alright.
Continue to Hardy turning and following heading 285. Proceed on course Whiskyfile 2977.
Yeah, so at the moment we are probably actually over New York now. Let's see what's around us. We are approaching... Is there any airport around us that's notable? Unless these are small airways, or small runways and stuff like that. There ain't much around here.
Generic 59er 2 York 36 miles west. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 24 approach. Generic 2 My Tango, you are 28 miles west. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 24 approach.
So we are now within 40 miles, so this is the 30, 20, and 10. So right now it's actually 35 miles from us.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 24 approach. Generic 59er 2. New York Center Delta 49er tree is at flight level 230 descending 14,000 feet. Delta 49er tree New York Center continuous plan. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 24 approach. Generic 2 Mike Tango.
We are approaching an aircraft here. I've got someone ahead of us. I can't tell where they are though.
Generic November 46 contact New York Center on 124.625. Good day. Whiskyfile 2977 descend and maintain 17,000 feet. 124.625 for generic November 46.
Descend and maintain 17,000 feet. Whiskyfile
And I'm going to bring this
2977.
down to 20 miles. Again, the range here is the total range, not the range from the aircraft, which is kind of silly. Now you can see here if we zoom in, now it's not going to load in the buildings yet, but that is Manhattan. That is Brooklyn and Queens. That's the New Jersey side. I know you got Long Island stretching off over that way.
119.5 for generic 2 Mike Tango. Delta 49er tree or 60 miles northwest.
Now hopefully my frames don't drop too much when it loads in.
Expect VO or DME runway 22 left approach via Delta Papa Kilo transition. Clear to Delta Papa Kilo.
60 miles north and it's already getting clearance. That's ridiculous. So I'm 20 miles.
Descend and maintain 2,500 feet. Expect 4 DME runway 22 left approach via Delta Papa Kilo transition. Clear to Delta Papa Kilo Delta 49er tree. Generic 59er 2 contact approach on 119.5. Good day.
Yeah, JFK is one of the busiest airports in the world.
119.5 generic 59er 2.
And I was watching an interesting video. So apparently the Airbus A380, which is the largest plane in the world, at least for commercial travel currently flying, they never sold them in the US. No US carrier carries the A380. And the reason why is they need them for basically if you have a single hub or maybe two hubs, but the United States has multiple hubs throughout it, and it's very spread out. So most US carriers went with like 777s or 737s actually for most of their flights and stuff like that. A few of them are flying 787s and stuff like that too, but it's interesting.
Whiskyfile 2977, contact New York Center on 121.125. Good day.
121.125 Whiskyfile 2977. New York Center Whiskyfile 2977 is passing 17,800 feet, descending 17,000 feet.
Whiskyfile 2977, New York Center altimeter
That's cool,
30.06,
yeah.
continue to windy as planned. Whiskyfile 2977, you are 25 miles northwest.
Grab that.
Maintain 14,000 feet, expect ILS runway 22 right approach via CIMBL transition. Cleared to CIMBL.
We will acknowledge.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 22 right approach via Simpla transition. Cleared to Simpla Whiskyfile 2977.
And she said, what did she say? That to tune my altitude to. Damn it. .3006. Go on, click it. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Let's get that was what I was looking for. There we go. Lovely shots over Manhattan here. Got another screenshot here. Actually, I like this picture much better.
77, please expedite your descent. 14,000 feet.
So we're currently doing 230 knots.
New York Center, Delta 493 is passing flight level 190, descending 2,500 feet.
Now this is JFK,
Delta 493, New York Center. Continue to Delta Papa Kilo as planned.
and as you can see from our path here, we're going to be doing this loop here, and then coming in for a landing. And there's New York with all its crazy tall buildings. One World Trade Center here, tallest building in the US. Billionaire's Row here, which has the tallest residential building in the world, about 1,550 feet, or I think it's like 482 meters, which is crazy tall. Very thin too. These are some of the thinnest buildings in the world.
77 descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Whiskyfile 2977.
I thought I'd turn this to approach mode. Our speed is actually pretty good. I'm going to drop the flaps a little bit. There's JFK. And so it's this runway here that we'll be landing on, which I believe is I don't know what that is. That 28 right? Let me check my flight plan real quick.
Whiskyfile 29er, 77 descend and maintain 8,000 feet.
Oh, 22 right. That is.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Whiskyfile 29er 77.
So we are now beginning what is called the, this is the upwind leg. So upwind of the runway. We are still continuing our descent. Just lowering my flaps down. And again, that's indicating for it. Should be this.
Whiskyfile 29er, 77 contact New York approach on 126.8. Good day.
126.8 Whiskyfile 29er 77.
We're getting a pretty strong lateral wind here. It's a shear wind here.
New York approach. Whiskyfile 29er 77 is passing 11,000 feet, descending 8,000 feet.
Whiskyfile 29er 77, New York approach altimeter tree 0.07, continue to TAPPR as planned.
So in case you're wondering why I'm adjusting
Whiskyfile
the...
29er 77, descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
In case you wonder why I'm adjusting the my altimeter.
Maintain 7,000 feet. Whiskyfile 29er 77.
So the altimeter is based on the air pressure, and so as the air pressure changes due to weather, due to temperature and stuff like that, you've got to adjust for those things too. So yeah, that's why I'm adjusting it. So currently it's 30.07. It's what is that one? Can't remember what the unit is. I don't know if it's PSI or not, but no, it shouldn't be. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Oh no, it might be inches of mercury. That's what that might be. So we've got our flaps down full.
Whiskyfile 29er 77, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Whiskyfile 29er 77.
Now, once we get into the... so we are picking up some of the... Oh no, we're picking it up from that runway. Shouldn't be. I'm going to actually turn off approach mode there. Actually, no, it should be fine. To be honest, be in approach mode here. But it's picking it up from this runway. And some of the information from it. So that's what these diamonds here are, but should be able to pick up from JFK once we loop around. So that's KFRG. I have no idea what KFRG is. Republic Airport, Long Island. Okay. A fun fact, Long Island is named Long Island because the island is long. Who knew?
Whiskyfile 2977, descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Austrian 87, please expedite your climb 10,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Whiskyfile 2977.
So we will be landing shortly. Lieutenants, prepare for landing. And you can see the airport way off here in the distance. Another aircraft that was just flying over us. You can actually see his little indicator there. RPA 4662. You can also see RPA 4662. Midwest. I don't know, Midwest. They're flying from Philadelphia into JFK, so they're going to beat us into the landing. They're on a different approach, it looks like. Oh, Republic Airways, that's what that is. And they are flying in an Embraer 175 long wing twin jet. It's a small little, it's basically a regional, but sort of a competitor to Bombardier's CRJs. I've seen Alaska fly them a few times.
Whiskyfile 2977, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Whiskyfile 2977.
Let's hope we don't hit any birds. Because I'm not as talented a pilot as Sully.
Austrian 87, contact New York Center on 121.125. Good day.
Now, let's see here. So we are...
121.125 for Austrian 87.
We're about to make our final turn here at KORD. And I know the runway's off right here where this pillar is. Wind has definitely died down here, which is nice. We're only getting about a 16 knot crosswind. Oh, we're getting 70 and 80 above, so we're up above these clouds, which is nice. American Airlines Flight 4. Ooh.
they flew from Los Angeles. And they are, what are they flying? They're flying an Airbus A321. It's a good plane. One of the favorites in Flight Sim. Very popular aircraft. It's a twin jet. I believe a narrow body. Comparable to basically what the 37 fills in. A little smaller than this plane.
Whiskyfile 2977, you are 13 miles northeast of Kennedy. Contact Kennedy Tower on 123.901 inbound.
Tower on 123.9 Whiskyfile 2977.
So here we go. Fingers crossed, folks.
Kennedy Tower Whiskyfile 2977, 12 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 22 right approach.
Now I'm not able
Whiskyfile
to.
2977 Kennedy Tower. Altimeter 30.06 wind 233 at 14. Cleared ILS runway 22 right approach.
Okay, so we are almost in line here. Look here.
Cleared ILS runway 22 right approach Whiskyfile 2977.
See Manhattan there off in the distance. Let's see here if I can actually see the lights. Can't yet. Oh, I'm not turned on there yet. There's the runway. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust heading, and once we hit this last one, I'm going to disengage autopilot. And we'll land this bird in. I can't see the indicator lights yet. Plus we are a little bit off kilter just because of the sheer force here from the wind. We are pretty much in line.
Whiskyfile 2977 wind 203 at 14. Caution the generic landing runway 22 left. Cleared to land runway 22 right.
They're landing on this runway.
Cleared to land runway 22 right Whiskyfile 2977.
Gears down. Alright. Looking good on approach. Now we do have a bit of a headwind, which is good. A little low. floating? Here we are.
Whiskyfile 2977 exit runway when able.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New York.
Whiskyfile 2977 exit runway when able. Whiskyfile 2977 contact ground on 125.05. JetBlue 16 tree follow the generic on final. Wind 20 tree at 14. Cleared to land runway tree 1 right.
That's probably one of the smoothest landings I had. I am genuinely proud of that. So I'm gonna stop here and we're gonna notch ground handle.
125.05 Whiskyfile 2977.
Nope. Dang it. Shoot. Alright. Alright. So we will just be taxiing to the gate, and we will be off on our way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to John F. Kennedy Airport. The local time is currently 2:44 p.m. and the temperature is actually, I believe, 47 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all can do math if you want to do Celsius, but we are still in America. For your safety and comfort, please remain, let's see here. Gotta remember my actual script here. Let's see. Just gonna stop here, make sure to check. Just gonna click across. Now, hopefully you're not picked up in a convertible caddy, but if you are, make sure you duck or you'll be back, and to the left. And because I own this digital airline, no one can fire me for saying whatever I want, no matter how offensive. Let's go, Brandon. See? Yeah, take that, Southwest. Now, for your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off, and will indicate that we have parked at the gate, and it is safe for you to move about. At this time, you may use your phones, but please keep personal electronics and such as laptops stowed. And if you have a desktop computer set up, probably really ticked off the guy next to you. But and I'm also thoroughly impressed that you managed to get that through TSA. Now please check around for your seat and any belongings that you may have on board with you. And sorry, just adjusting things here. And please use caution when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around in flight. Remember, anything left will be sold and all proceeds will be used for whiskey. If you require assistance off the plane, please remain in your seat until all other passengers have disembarked, especially if you've imbibed a bit too much. One of our crew members will then be pleased to assist you with anything from light assistance to a swift boot in the rear. On behalf of Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines and on the behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a wonderful day, and again, we will be at the gate shortly. If you have any connections, there will be screens there at the entrance to the gate that will happily tell you where you need to go. We got a plane in front of us. He is in the way. JetBlue is being told to hold position. For some reason this is not actually telling me anything. There we go.
Kennedy Airport Information Sierra 19000 Zulu.
Ground Whiskyfile 2977 taxi to the gate.
Whiskyfile 2977 taxi to gate Charlie 22 using taxiway Foxtrot Golf Alpha Kilo Foxtrot. JetBlue 1633, continue taxi.
Oh, so we gotta go back behind us now.
Taxiing to gate Charlie 22 via taxiway Foxtrot Golf Alpha Kilo Foxtrot Whiskyfile 2977.
Where are you going?
Roger JetBlue 1633.
That's not a JetBlue livery. It's a sham. It's just a generic one. I do want to get a mod that will have all that stuff on there, but that'll be in time.
Ground JetBlue 1528 taxi to the gate.
JetBlue 1528 taxi to gate Charlie 3 using taxiway Delta Delta Alpha Alpha Foxtrot.
Probably check and see what time race day is.
Charlie 3 using taxiway Delta Delta Alpha Alpha Foxtrot JetBlue 1528.
Okay, we got time. Okay, so he's just turning around. That's cool. Alright. He's not that bright. What the hell is going on? I waited for you just to spin in front of me? Come on, man. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently delayed because a JetBlue flight decided it just wanted to spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record baby, right round, round, round.
Emirates 201 taxi to the gate.
Emirates 201 taxi to Gate Bravo Tree via taxiway Juliet Yankee Golf Cross runway 22 right Golf Bravo Delta Alpha Victor.
Sometime today, maybe? Sometime tomorrow? Sometime
Taxiing to Gate Bravo Tree using
to next
taxiway
week,
Juliet
maybe?
Yankee Golf Cross runway 22 right Golf Bravo Delta Alpha Victor Emirates 201.
Oh, you're going this way. Alright. Sometimes this game is dumb. This is violating all the rules. Just gonna pull a J-turn and a jet. Let this numpty by.
JetBlue 1633 calls position caution to Burgundy 78X on the taxiway.
Whoop. Little wheelie.
JetBlue 1633, continue taxi. Roger JetBlue 1633.
Make sure the wind doesn't strike my nose.
Whiskyfile 29er 77 calls position caution the generic on the taxiway.
Yeah, I know. Acknowledge.
Hold position Whiskyfile 29er77.
Make sure to give a complaint.
77 continue taxi. Whiskyfile 29er 77, did you hear my last transmission?
Roger Whiskyfile 29er77.
Emirates 201 calls position caution the generic on the runway.
Okay, what is going on with my steering now? Okay. Oh, there it goes. Now it's fine. Yeah, JFK is a busy airport. Lots of flights all around. They're flying to Seattle, Delta Airlines, I'm guessing. Just gonna tailgate. Give him a honk. Oh, please. Please turn somewhere else but right. No. Damn you. Shouldn't have let you by. I shouldn't have. It's like being in traffic with an old person in front of you. Oh, goodness, I hope I land, or I hope I can, Lisenberg sometime soon, because I'd really, really like to get to racing. So I've got a race shortly. Oh yeah, LOC doesn't need to be on anymore. I'll have NV now. But alright, so that just stays on. There's lovely Manhattan, you can see downtown there. Empire State Building there, just above the JetBlue. Right here. You would go the direction I'm going. Goodness, he is taking forever. I just want to get to my gate and... we got cars crossing in front of us. The transit vans had no idea that there's a big ass plane right here. Very little luggage loader. You are going to have a near jet experience. He's fine. So take a wide turn here. Turn very, very slowly. No idea why I'm basically being inundated with all these guys. They're just in the way. That is not how things would actually be. Hey, look at that. We'll fly over there and we'll check out that that Southwest livery, because that is a nice Southwest livery that I altered. Alright, I do believe we are in place here. Let's check out ground services here.
Ground Whiskyfile 2977, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Whiskyfile 2977, the jetway is going to be connected.
Alrighty, I do believe we can turn off our engines. And we'll continue on our shut off here. We will kill our lights. Oops, I never turned on. Oh no, yeah, I did not turn on my landing lights. My bad. Because I'm still new to this. Turn off fuel pumps. Turn on external power. And we should at least have the APU on.
Ground Brickyard 49er, 6 taxi to the gate.
Brickyard 49er, 6 taxi to gate Bravo 6 via taxiway Delta Alpha Victor Alpha.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 6 via taxiway Delta Alpha Victor Alpha Brickyard 49er 6.
Well, again, I want to thank you all for joining Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines. We know you have many choices for flight simulators, and we appreciate you choosing one of the lesser competent ones. We will be back again next week for another flight. We're probably going to be doing a quick jaunt. Oh, that was what I was going to do. I wanted to showcase here. Oh, the showcase camera. Whoop, rip sideways. Let's take a look at the Southwest livery over here. Because this thing, it's pretty funny. It amuses me. Oh, come on now. Don't crash. Ah, there we go. It of course says, "Let's go Brandon," on Southwest. I did that because, well, pilot apparently got in trouble for saying "Let's go Braves" and someone thought it was "Let's go Brandon." So, here you go, Southwest. Come after me. Do it. You can get all my student loans. Yeah. Got a generic. Got a lot of things here, but of course we'll end up by taking a look at my plane here. Just do that. Give ourselves a little bit of a focus. That's nice. Alrighty folks, have a good day, and I will see you again sometime next week. Have a good rest of your day.